So as you might know, I'm a huge fan of Warren Buffett. The Oracle of Omaha, just super compelling, one of the most successful, if not the most successful investor of all time. And I want to go over his best investment advice and really what has been his best investment, because I think it has tons of application to your life, to my life, to how we move forward. So stick around, it's going to be awesome. We've got a great quote for you at the end. We've got 3 great points to jump through. And if you're not subscribed to this channel, consider subscribing, hit that alarm bell. You're going to get the newest content as soon as it comes out every week. And let's jump in. All right, so what is the best investment that you can make? According to Warren Buffett, which one of his many investments, if you look at what he did, he invested in American Express, he did, Coca-Cola, the Geico deal, he had Berkshire Hathaway, he grew from a textile manufacturing group to basically become now, believe the 6th largest company in the world. It's grown by 2.8 million %, turning $10,000 in investment and more than 280 million. Absolutely amazing, right? Just unbelievable returns. And of course, it goes to that principle of the most powerful force in the universe, according to Einstein, is compound interest, right? So how do you get that going? There's a great book on Warren Buffett called The Snowball. If you haven't read this, it's awesome. So what was the best investment that he made? Again, we talk about all those different things. There's Gillette, the best a man can get. There's American Express, Coca-Cola. But he said, actually, the number one investment that you can make really is in yourself. And so, you think here's Buffett saying, hey, here's the best investment. Do this, buy this company, invest this way. But he's saying, really, the number one investment you can make really is invest in yourself. And I've even got a quote up here dedicated to that, that's investing in yourself. And I've used this strategy now to grow my wealth. I've been able to 20x my net worth over the last 5 years, and just continues to grow and compound. And again, it's not just simply that, hey, my money is growing, but I am growing. And if you're growing, if you're reading books, if you're learning, there's ways you can do that to really grow. Now, people think, I'm going to grow, or I'm going to take care of myself, I'm going to do self-care. What does that mean? Does that mean you get a massage every week, or you go to the gym, or, that's great, a great way to invest in your health. But when you're investing in your wealth, it really involves working on your human capital, really what's going on in between here, how you're learning, how you're growing. It's my belief that if we're not growing intellectually, if we're not growing and trying hard things, if we're not doing things that are challenging, I actually do cold plunging almost every day. You can see here in this picture, I jump into this 38-degree cold plunge, and there's some health benefits. It improves your metabolism and improves your immune system. But the biggest benefit I find is when I get out of it after 5.5 minutes, I'm like, wow, I just did that. Nothing is impossible for me today, right? So I'm continuing to try to grow the things that I feel like are possible for me, and I'm seeing things continue to expand. So there's 2 things I really did to really invest in myself to grow my net worth. I think these 2 secrets, I call them the rocket fuel to really grow your net worth. And the first one is networking. The second one is education. Now, those are can be kind of boring words, right? Education is like I go to school, or networking is like you go to a networking event. But really what true networking and education are, networking is going to an event, really trying to figure out a way to add value to other people. If I show up, it really depends how I show up, right? If I show up and I'm just kind of sit in the corner, I don't do anything, it's not really going to benefit. I don't have an open mind. But if I show up and I'm eager and I'm smiling and I want to meet people, I want to learn, well, what are you dealing with? And it's really trying not just to exchange cards, but it's trying to figure out, what does this person need right now? Is there anything that I can do? Is there any resource I can provide them? Is there anybody I can introduce them to, even get on the phone right then, or introduce them to somebody else in the room and say, oh, you work in Tennessee. You should meet Steve, who also works in Tennessee. And ironically, we have a Steve in our group who's amazing, and he does a lot of work in Tennessee. So whenever I'm at my local meetup in Pasadena, California, I always introduce people that invest in Tennessee to Steve, right? Because that's what, and I'm trying to be a connector. So that's what's really valuable. It was basically at a networking event, or at an event, that I met a partner of mine that we ended up raising $15 million together. I'd raised $100,000, and then in the process of just kind of discovering and uncovering needs, I was able to find a way to work with someone who was uber successful that had a need in a certain area, and I was just able to help. And genuinely, I just wanted to help. I say, is this something that I can help with? And we found a way to work together, which is awesome. So that's one thing. The other thing is education. Now, I'm not talking simply like you go to college and get a great education, and that's true, but it's, reading books. I read, my goal every year typically is around 80 books a year, trying to read as much as I can, trying to learn as much as I can. We call it YouTube University. You're on here educating yourself. The more you can do to commit to learn, and you can really learn to do anything. I have a buddy, his son is in high school and learned how to play amazing piano. I mean, just unbelievable piano and Mozart and all this stuff just simply from YouTube videos, right? So it really is YouTube University. You can learn how to do anything. And so I'm not talking formal education, I'm talking informal. So if you're committed to those two things, you will really be investing in yourself. Going to live conferences, kind of like this one. I go to many conferences each year because you never know who you're going to meet, you never know who you're going to connect with, and maybe what I have is what they need, maybe what they have is, there's just a great synergy there, and it's amazing in this business of real estate, whether you are a passive investor or you are somebody who's an active investor, just getting around other people and finding out what they're doing. If you're a passive investor, it's awesome because you can learn from the experience of other passive investors, and you can really figure out what they're doing and maybe things that they know, mistakes that they've made. I find the mistake stories, the ways people lost money. I did a video on how I lost $70,000 in one day. My net worth was about $200K, and I lost over a third of my net worth in one day. It was terrible, but you can check out that video on this channel. And but anyway, there's things that we learn a lot from those stories. And what I learned from that story is I'm not a good options trader. So if you're a great options trader, God bless you, but that's not really me. So anyway, going back to Warren Buffett, he just really has this thing of investing in yourself. And there's some things we can learn from Warren. I actually had an app on my phone for a while. I don't know if it still exists, but it was just quotes from Warren Buffett. And if you just go study his quotes, he has these newsletters that he did, every year he still does them of just what's happening in the market. And so, Warren's actual best investment, I want to get into this in a minute, of really what was his actual best investment. Because you can invest in yourself, and that's great, and that's a great, woo-woo, kind of like, oh, he invested in himself. But I also wanted to share with you what his best investment was, and there's some principles from this too. So his best investment that he made was American Express. He started buying in the 1960s. He's had over a 3,000% return, so it's a 30x or higher return. Over 50 years, that's quite a while. 60 years, that's a long time, but he started buying over there. So the lesson really is, especially with Warren Buffett, is to study success. Tony Robbins says, success leaves clues. Jim Rohn also said the same thing, right? Success leaves clues. So if somebody's successful, I recommend you look into what they're doing. And that's something we try to do from our experience, from the ways that we've done well, the ways we've made mistakes. It's been said that a wise man learns from their own mistakes, but a genius, will learn from the mistakes of others. So I hope that you are taking time to learn from your own mistakes. You're even journaling and reflecting on what's worked, what hasn't worked. For example, I have a friend who invested in single family out of state and just had it, in the Midwest, and we had some good experience there. He went and he didn't really do things the way you should do them. He just kind of got some really cheap property manager, and they got really bad tenants in there. They didn't even background check them, and a couple of these tenants trashed a couple of the places, and he walked away really feeling like a failure. And I think that's really the most unfortunate thing is not what happened, it's just how he saw himself, right? And so, mistakes, nothing is failure. Failure is only failure if I determine it's failure. It's either, my friend Rod Khleif says, it's either success or it's a seminar, right? And I've had my share of seminars. I shared one of my 70,000 in one day. I've had personal things. I've gone through a divorce. There's things that we go through in life, and they can all be learning. They can all be things that we grow from. So my hope is that for you, just like Buffett, you take time, you learn from other people, you get around other people, you take the information, and you try to learn. So invest in yourself, take the time, do it. You will not regret investing in yourself because it will lead to financial benefit. It will lead to other sorts of benefits with you. I wanted to share this with you. This is Brian Tracy, a quote from him. He's a personal development guy, awesome guy. He says, 3% of your income, invest 3% of your income in yourself, in self-development, in order to guarantee your future. So you think of if you make $100K a year, spending $3,000 a year, will help you grow. Now I feel like I'm spending like $50,000 to $100,000 a year in personal growth, and my income is not, that high, at least realized right now. But, investing in yourself, it really is incredible. So I encourage you to do it, go for it. I want to show you this video that I did about wealth affirmations and kind of a wealth mindset, what that really looks like. Check out that video up here. I think you're really going to like that because it talks about how the things we say about money or the things we say about ourselves in relation to money or success are very important. A lot of times we have negative tapes that we're playing, like negative phrases, negative things people have said to us that we're playing over time. So check that out. And if you haven't joined our investment club, we are doing awesome deals in real estate, outside of real estate, oil and gas, You know, we're doing ATM machines, we're doing car washes, we're doing some exciting stuff. So check that out down below. And if you like this video, please make a comment about what you like or what you're looking for. We're gonna do a drawing once a month, this month, on a $100 Amazon gift card. And I'm gonna give a shout out to you on this channel. So if you stick a comment down below, you can win a $100 Amazon gift card. Anyway, thanks for taking the time to educate yourself. Look forward to seeing you on the next video.